Welcome back to this edition of Ryanology. I'm your host, Ryanology, and thank you for tuning in. On this episode, I have an interview with former student Caden Lisa, who is at Emerson College, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about his experiences there, as well as an interview with our principal, Thibault, who will talk to us about the new COVID-19 policies. Please stay tuned and enjoy.
Dartmouth High School is committed to providing a quality education for all learners. Dartmouth High School is home to over 1,000 students with a variety of academic and extracurricular offerings that make Dartmouth High School a special place to learn. At Dartmouth High School, we have a program for you. From our world-class music programs to our exceptional varsity athletic offerings to the more than 20 advanced placement courses, students at Dartmouth High School have unique opportunities to grow and develop throughout their high school experience. Our mission at Dartmouth High School is to prepare all students for whatever opportunities they wish to pursue upon graduation. Whether you plan to continue your education at a 2, 4 trade or technical school, enter directly into the workforce, or volunteer in service to our nation, Dartmouth High School will prepare you for the future of your choosing. We invite students considering Dartmouth High School to shadow a current student, to experience a day in the life of a Dartmouth High School student. We are confident that you will walk away believing that Dartmouth High School is a special place to learn and to grow. We look forward to seeing you around Dartmouth High School soon.
Welcome back. Today on the show, I have former student Caden Lisa. He recently graduated from the Dartmouth High School last year, and he's going to talk with us, about some of his experiences at Emerson College. How are you doing today, Caden?
I'm doing good. It's a fine morning, bright and early. I got here about an hour before I was supposed to. Shout out to my mother working hard. I don't have to walk home after this, so, I'm not too excited for that, but I'm feeling good. Today is a good day, Ryan. Thank you for asking. How you doing?
I'm good.
It's good. It's good.
So let's talk about a little bit of your, professional life. So, like we said, you moved out of Dartmouth last year. You went to Emerson College, and how's that been for you so far?
It's been really good. Definitely a big change. Definitely like a culture shock going from high school to college. But like a lot of the same experiences are still there. There's a lot of like the social aspects of high school are definitely still in college and still operate the same way, believe it or not. And, you get a lot of experience working. So, like there's some things that's been, like, a very seamless change, but some things have, like, still take some time to get used to.
And what have you been focusing on there in your studies and with your time?
So I am majoring in media arts production, which is basically, like, the stuff I've been doing here for the past couple of years. I am working on a movie coming up. I'm going to be like the second lead role. It's called A Gamble No Less. It's about like selling drugs and how dangerous that path can be. I'm also working at Dunkin' Donuts. So I'm a barista now. So I'm trying to balance all my college work, all my schoolwork, all my classes, my social life, and my work at Dunkin' Donuts. So.
How would you say your time here at Dartmouth High School impacted you for your professional life beyond?
I mean, if I didn't have the experience that I did here, both with the band and also with the media program with Mr. Perotti, then I wouldn't be where I am. It's quite simple like that. Like I was in charge of it I was there all 4 years in this program, and I've also been in charge of it for the last 2 years I had here. So because of that, I'm able to make it into like a 1 in 11 like school. Like 11,000 people like wanted to go to Emerson, only 1,000 made it in. Crazy, it blew my mind. Because on the Google it says it's a 33% chance. Thanks. It's crazy, but like that's the truth. Like the reason why I'm here, the reason why I'm able to talk to you today, is because of the experience that I had and everything I learned and everything I'm still learning.
And how would you say your show, Afternoon After School, kind of boosted you into college? Was it something you could put on your resume, something you could, show future professors and other teachers?
It's funny because like the environment you have here is like super professional. Everything's well built. Everything's still being developed and everything is still like being crafted. But it started as a for fun thing. Like it wasn't supposed to be anything big like my show back then. And if you rewatch it, you can tell like, oh, these are just a couple of goons, you know, having fun. But because we were able to do that, and because we were able to learn more about, like, say, what were we doing wrong? How can we be better? And I stayed committed to it for 3 years. Because I had that, that's why I was able to learn more, and that's what kind of what boosted me, as you put it, into college.
And, you know, yeah, absolutely. Seeing the successes, you know, from the show, being able to kind of share that experience with everyone, you know, must be something special to always have with you and things to be able to show family, friends, and really everyone beyond.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that because like I do feel like a little bit of like anxiety and I feel like a little bit of pressure like from my family to make sure that I am successful, and I like that because like I don't want to, you know, get too like emotional or anything, but like I want to make sure that I can be successful and that I can like, you know, like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like make it through to my field. There's a lot of people out there and everyone's trying to compete for the same thing. And I want to just get my piece of the pie and I want to be successful and I want to be able to help financially support my family and, you know, keep on keeping on.
Yeah,
you know?
Master your craft, absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, now let's take a look at some of your recent work, Caden, if you want to kind of explain to the audience what we're going to be looking at.
All right, so at Emerson, there are several like student-run organizations that like help you produce content. So there's like a EIV, which is Emerson Independent Video. So you could like develop your own like TV shows and movies and stuff like that based on like what the upperclassmen like do. So like the upperclassmen, they pick the ideas and everything like trickles down to like say the freshmen like me working on projects. And there's another org that I'm gonna present called the WBN, which is pretty much like this. It's pretty much like studio, like television news stuff. So like, as you can see, like we did a sports show, like a sports news show, and I was the NFL correspondent, and I did a couple stories from a teleprompter. It's about 2 minutes long, nothing too long, but like it's good practice to get better at learning and then eventually doing like internships with other like actual like organizations outside of Emerson. So.
All right, well, please take a look and enjoy.
Thanks, Jackson. New England's rookie quarterback Mac Jones is in the top 5 for jersey sales. Ever since the Patriots went all in on Mac, excitement around the player rose. He took the team to the playoffs and got himself into the Pro Bowl. The NFL Players Association revealed that Mac Jones was 5th this past season in regards to the top-selling jerseys. In no particular order, that list also includes Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, and Josh Allen, all playoff-bound quarterbacks. Even though the season did not end as desired for Patriots fans, they still have plenty to look forward to with Mac Jones in his next season. After 8 years of partnership, the NFL has split ways with Bose as their official coaching headset sponsor. Previously, for 13 years, Motorola had been the sponsor for the headsets that the coaches wear. However, in 2014, after 1 year without a sponsor, Bose stepped in and sponsored the headsets for the next 8 years. This one is one of the most standout sponsors in the NFL, on par with the Microsoft tablets on the sidelines and the Nike uniforms. They can do whatever they want with the headset, but we'll have to wait and see who will step in to sponsor those headsets. The Pittsburgh Steelers have hired former Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores. Flores is currently suing the league on a class action lawsuit after firing and interviews for other head coaching jobs. Despite this, Flores was still brought in under the Pittsburgh Steelers. With the exception of new Houston hire Lovie Smith, Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin is currently the only black coach in the NFL. Flores' new role under Tomlin is linebackers coach and senior defensive assistant. He's been an assistant coach for 15 years in New England, including 4 Super Bowl wins, and he even had 2 or 3 winning seasons with a mediocre Miami Dolphins team. That's all I got for NFL news. Back to Jackson and Jackson at the desk.
Thank you, Caden, for coming on the show today once again, and can't wait to see you again. And please, everyone, stay tuned for future episodes with Caden, and stay tuned for the Emerson College videos that we will be posting here on DHS TV Media.
Thank you. Thank you for doing your show. Thank you for staying committed. All y'all at home, like and subscribe, do the thing. You know how to do it. I'll see you around. Until next time.
Now, let's take a look at the interview I had with Dartmouth High School's principal, Mr. Thibault.
On March 11th, Dartmouth High School presents TEDx DHS Connections to the World Around Us. Led by the advisors Ms. Souza and Mrs. True, the Dartmouth High School TED Talk Club has been working hard throughout the year. In preparation for March, they have researched, created, and practiced. Be sure to tune in on DHS TV Media on YouTube. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back. Today on Ryanology, I'm very fortunate to have our Dartmouth High School principal, Mr. Thibault. How are you today?
I'm well, Ryan. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for having me.
So today I wanted to kind of talk and focus about some of the new COVID-19 protocols and policies. Obviously, being able to see face-to-face, it's different and new. So if you wanted to kind of go through that.
Yeah, sure. So when we returned from February vacation, masks were optional now, and we've had a smooth transition to that. Certainly our students, I think, appreciate not having to have a mask on. One of the things that we've tried to stress is that it is an individual decision, and so we've tried to message that it's important that we respect, students' individual decisions and faculty's individual decisions with respect to whether or not they wear a mask. Some folks feel more comfortable having a mask on when they have, they're in public, surrounded by other people. Others feel comfortable without it. So really is that individual's decision, and I'm proud of the fact that we haven't had any issues with that at all. So that's nice to see.
And would you say that the phasing out plan so far worked well?
Yeah, actually, I was speaking to the nurses yesterday, and we've only had 1 or 2 cases since we returned from February vacation in total. So, I think that mirrors what we see in the community, right? We saw a spike in January, and then the numbers came down just as fast, and so, we haven't seen any uptick here since we got rid of the masks. So that's nice, and hopefully with nicer weather coming, more people being outdoors, hopefully, we'll be through this, and the end of our school year will look much closer to normal than what it has over the last 2 years.
And finding that normalcy so far has been, absolutely. Finding that normalcy so far has been, generally difficult, like you said, the past 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a lot of starts and stops, right? Even since the vaccines came out last year around this time. I think during the summertime, people thought this is over, we're going to be back to normal, and then obviously the fall happened with a rise in case numbers and then a real spike, like I said, in January. So it's been kind of start and stop, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we're finally over that hump and back to normal. I'm hoping. We are planning for normal end of the year senior events. I'm excited to share that we are planning for a return of the after prom. We haven't had an after prom in 2 years. A normal prom, not like last year. Last year we were able to have a prom, but with a lot of restrictions. We're hoping that that's not the case this year, and I know our advisors and our class officers are working very hard to plan the prom. It will be at a beautiful venue, and it will certainly be a great time. And then obviously end of the year award ceremonies and whatnot will look much closer to normal than in the past. So that's all positive and good news.
Absolutely, and it's definitely difficult so far to kind of take on these tasks, coming from the standpoint that you want these kids to just have a normal year, have all these events go on, all these classes before them have had it, but in shine of recent events, it's just been very difficult. So how would you say working with these seniors and these students has been so far?
Oh, our seniors have been phenomenal. Our seniors in general have been phenomenal. Our class officers have been excellent as well. A lot of the difficulty that we
have experienced, or a lot of the challenges we have experienced, have not come from within the building. They've come from outside, right? Unfortunately, this pandemic took on a very political nature in this country in general, and I think that's made things challenging. But in terms of working with students on a day-to-day basis, you know, our seniors, all of our students have been absolutely phenomenal over the past 2.5 years as we've navigated this. So
Absolutely. And, you know, in shine of recent global events as well, still encouraging students to kind of show that inclusivity among everyone, both local, global events happening, you know, whether it be politically, small groups. We at Dartmouth High School are still striving to find that basis of community and care for one another.
yeah, I think one of the things, Ryan, that makes America America is that we have differing viewpoints in our country, in our nation, in our community. What's been troubling over the last few years is that it's become not okay to have differing viewpoints. You know, if you and I disagree, we have to be enemies, and that's not the case. But that's how the political climate in our country is, unfortunately. You know, and that's not what has made America great all of these years. It's really been the ability for you to believe what you believe, for me to believe what I believe, and to have differing viewpoints and still be friends and still be community members. And that's what being a community is all about, is that, you know, everyone within the community is respected and welcomed. And certainly that's what we strive to do. And I think it's an important reminder. You know, I think sometimes the adults in our communities don't, we forget that students do look to us for an example. And so if you're taking to social media and being nasty to someone, students see that, and it normalizes that, and it makes it okay. And we're better than that, and we should treat one another better than that.
Absolutely. So, you know, especially here at Dartmouth High School, where we have so many different clubs and groups and, you know, many different minority groups here at the high school. You know, we have AP classes too, ranging from all different subjects. Having that topic of inclusivity, working together with one another, administration, teachers, and staff, just really making Dartmouth High School a good and safe place to be is just really priority number one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I would agree with that. And you know, some people see diversity as weakness, but I think throughout our history, there's been countless examples where diversity is strength, and that's what makes us different from other countries across the world. So.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Thibault, for coming on the show today.
Thank you, but before I go, I want to thank members of our music program who are here. We have a live studio audience band, so you're moving up, Ryan.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryanology is certainly moving up in the world, so congratulations on that, and thank you to our student musicians who are here today. I was hoping you'd tell a joke, though, Ryan, because I really do like that ba-dum-bum. So.
Well, once again, thank you.
No jokes?
No. Let me think. Oh, wow. You put me on the spot.
I'll tell a joke. I'll tell a school-related joke, okay? And just bear in mind that my wife is a math teacher, so this joke is okay, all right? And it comes from my 6-year-old, Sophia, who likes to tell jokes. Why is the math department the saddest department in every school?
Why?
They have so many problems. Thank you.
Thank you. Really great. Well, once again, thank you, and play it out. Thank you. Ryanology musicians, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Ryanology. I'd like to thank Caden Lisa as well as Mr. Ross Thibault for joining me for interviews today. And I'd also like to thank the First Time Ryanology live band with Ethan Lima on trumpet, Cohen Walsh on guitar, Owen Sieska on bass, as well as Oliver Johnson on the drum set. Please stay tuned and look for our next episode in the following weeks. Thank you.